Welcome back to the castle. I'm going to take just a minute today to show you guys how to grow hot peppers. A lot of you pepperheads come down to pick up Carolina Reapers and Ghosts and Thai Hots, and you always have that question. I never seem to be able to get a good production when I grow peppers. So, very simply, a couple of rules. First, pick your variety of pepper. This is a nice ghost pepper that we grow here at the castle. This is a nice variety, high yielding. I've got two choices. I can plant this pepper in the garden over here in nice rich soil, or I can plant it in a container. I always will opt for a container for a lot of different reasons. We can control the moisture, control the fertilization, we can control the soil temperature, we can move the plant where we want. Always choose a container. What do I use in the container? A lot of you will go over into the garden with a shovel, fill the container up with garden soil and plant your pepper. That's a big no-no, because when you take garden soil out of the garden, you shut down that organic process, that aeration. You now put it into a container, having shut that off. As you water now, because the particles in garden soil are so fine, that soil will start to compress, and you start losing aeration, water retention, and your pepper is going to perform very poorly. I'm using a Lambert's LM3 here. You can use Pro Mix, Sunshine Mix, whatever, but use a commercial grow mix. And this is a soil-less mix with no fertilizer, no compost. It's just basically a place for the roots to hang out and have proper aeration and nutrition. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to plant my pepper, pop it out of the pot, stick them in here. So the pepper is now planted, and the big question we have now is, what do we feed this thing? And my advice to you is to only use a complete, balanced, commercial grade fertilizer that has all of the macro and the micronutrients, and use a continuous feed program, which means every time you water, you're feeding. Most of these commercial mixes, which have a nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium ratio of somewhere in that 12:4:16, 12:5:19, will be used at a level of about 1 teaspoon per gallon every time you water. And remember, whenever you water, you always water to saturate and have 15 to 20% of what you pour into the top actually flush out through the bottom. And the comparison in the yield on these, if I plant this pepper in the garden soil, maybe I'll get 15, 20, 25 peppers off of it. If I put this in a nice, warm, protected, sunny spot, and I use this continuous feed program with the right fertilizer, I'll average probably in the range of 100 peppers per plant. So for you pepperheads, using this simple system, I think you're going to find your yields increase by, a factor of 3, 4, 5, 6 or more. So as always, if you have any questions, get in touch with me. Again, we have all the peppers, all of the fertilizers here if you need anything. And as always, you need to know what your plants need to grow.